like birds. It's so bad, I'm constantly getting calls from the merge. I got a girl at the way to catch it for the curves. I'm a man, I'm bending, I'm like a bunch of fucking
Guests of honor, Board of Trustees, faculty members of the Day High School Department and High School Evening Session, fellow graduates, parents, friends, ladies and gentlemen, a pleasant afternoon to all of us. It has been our practice to invite persons whom we consider special to speak before us and share with us his or her experiences and to give us some points of view in how we would also become successful in our endeavor. Ladies and gentlemen, our guest speaker for this afternoon's affair is just a simple man whom we consider to be a self-made man. He was born on October 19, year 1972 to Rafael and Adelaida Renoblas. He started his kindergarten at the University of Bohol and graduated first honors. During his elementary years, he excelled in his academic field, graduated class valedictorian. Despite financial constraints, he managed to pursue his high school years as a working student, and indeed, he graduated honorable mention. Because of his great enthusiasm to pursue his studies, he took up Bachelor of Arts major in Political Science and graduated cum laude. Still not contented of his course, he enrolled Bachelor of Laws to fulfill his dream of becoming a lawyer. Indeed, his dream was fulfilled. He took the bar exam in the year 1999 and did pass. My fellow graduates, our guest speaker is a perfect reflection of the saying that goes, poverty is no hindrance to success. With so many achievements he had made in life, it would take a day or two to enumerate it all. One thing's for sure, this time our speaker is not negotiable, for he has found his life partner in the person of Mrs. Lyra Valle Renoblas, who is presently working as a nurse in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. Without much ado, it is my honor and privilege to present to you our guest speaker for our commencement exercise, our very own Attorney Reno Kaagaan Renoblas. A big hand, please.
Thank you. You may now take your seats.
Kaagaan man. Kaagaan eh.
Members of the Board of Trustees, headed by its Chairman, Engineer Jess Pilon. Members of the faculty of both the Day High School Department and the UB High School Evening Session, led by the Day High School Principal, OIC, Mrs. Karen Pando, and the Night High School Principal, Mrs. Mirna Grasuta. Members of the faculty of both departments, proud parents, members of the family of these young graduates themselves, friends, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. First and foremost, I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude and profound thanks for this honor you have given me as your commencement speaker in these 126 commencement exercises of UB High School. I'm sure you must have known the depth of my gratefulness and gratitude for such an honor. But what you do not know is how great my feeling of unworthiness, for I found myself not so big for such an honor. But this feeling of unworthiness was rubbed off as soon as I recalled while I was marching just a while ago during the processional march that exactly 15 years ago in this same place, during my own UB High School graduation, while I was sitting at the back seats provided for us graduates, and while I was listening to our commencement speaker at that time, I once asked myself, would I be one like him soon? Would I be one of the commencement speakers of my own alma mater in the future? And I did not know that that question was answerable 15 years later. Ladies and gentlemen, although this is my third commencement address since I became a lawyer, I could not compare the honor and privilege that I have had in the previous two commencement exercises that I attended to the honor and privilege that I have now. Now that I am speaking before the graduates of my own alma mater, the University of Bohol, which has long been synonymous to the term quality education. On this occasion of 126 joint commencement exercises of the University of Bohol Day High School and the University of Bohol High School Evening Session, please accept, and I would like to express my thanks to the Lord Almighty for giving you all the life and vigor to pursue your high school education. Your parents, your respective families, your loved ones and your friends, and of course your teachers for these scholastic achievements that you have just attained. My dear graduates, because of your parents and your respective families, and your teachers and all those who in one way or the other have contributed a lot to your initial success. I say initial because this is just one lap of your long quest for knowledge, of your long educational journey. You still have to take some more laps and hit the finish line. Thus, never rest on your laurels, so to say. My friends, especially our dear young graduates, you owe a great debt to your parents, to your families, and to your teachers. And in line with this, let me ask you some questions. But of course, you have to answer these questions. Or let us just consider this as a short quiz, like what you have been doing in your entire high school life, and like what you will be doing in your college life soon. Are you ready to answer the questions? But you don't have to answer this in the open. You may excuse me, answer this silently in your seats. Are you ready? Ready? This is just an enumeration type of quiz. But be sure to answer this. I'll be asking 5 questions and you will be given 10 seconds to answer each. Okay? So if you are ready, here I go with the questions. Number 1. Give at least 5 most famous presidents in the world. Again, give at least 5 most famous presidents in the world. 10 seconds. Answer silently in your seats. Okay, second. Give at least 5 richest people in the world. 5 richest people in the world. 10 seconds. Third. Give at least 3 people who won the Oscar Academy Awards. 3. 10 seconds. And finally, my last question. Give at least 3 Filipino athletes who won gold medals in the Olympics. Give at least 3 Filipino athletes who won gold medals in the Olympics. 10 seconds. Okay, how did you do? Were you able to answer my questions? Were you able to name the persons I asked and the achievements they've made? How about you, honor graduates? Were you able to answer my questions? The point is, my dear graduates, it is hard to remember the headliners of yesterday's. It is hard to remember people whom we do not know. And much harder to remember achievements that are not ours. Am I correct? Whether we like it or not, the applause, the clapping of the hands will soon stop. The certificates, the medals, the ribbons will soon vanish. they will just become rotten and runs by rats. The applause, the clapping of the hands, though how big, though how loud, whether we like it or not, they will soon vanish. Bisag unsa ka makabungog sa palakpakan, moangay tag sa Manili, undang yun ang palakpakan. But what are these medals, these certificates, the ribbons that may not get rotten? What are the achievements that we cannot forget? Who are these people whom we cannot forget? What are these applause, the clapping of the hands that would not stop, that would not vanish? And what are these awards and commendations that cannot be buried with their owners? Kinsa maning mga tawhana, unsa maning nga maong pasidungog. My dear friends, this will be answered with my second group of questions. I will be giving you another quiz. I hope this time you will be able to answer this quiz and these questions. Are you ready? In the same manner, you may not answer this in the open. You may answer this silently, individually, in your own seats. Ready? I hope you will be able to answer this question. Number 1, for test 2. Name at least 5 people who love and care for you. 5. 10 seconds. I observe you are now noisy. Second question. Name at least 5 UB high school teachers who have contributed a lot to this success that you have. 5 only. Do not mention all. 10 seconds would not be enough. Third, name at least 5 of your relatives and friends who have helped you achieve your graduation. 10 seconds. And finally, name at least 3 of your classmates and friends who have helped you solve your problems, whatever they might be. 10 seconds. Okay. How did you do with my second quiz? Perfect? Were you able to answer the questions? Were you able to name the persons I asked? What lesson can you get out of the 2 quizzes that we had? Perhaps. The very people who love and care for you, the very people who actually touch your lives, and the very people who made changes and made a difference in your lives, are these people who are beside you now. Look at your sides. Look at your sides, right, left. These are the people whom you will always remember. Look at your extreme right. Here are your teachers. An extreme left. Again, your teachers. Look back, your friends and relatives. Fourth, look forth. Your school administrators who are responsible for your education. Kining mga tawhana, are they famous? Are they rich? Are they in the backs of popular and famous persons in the world? Perhaps they are not. And in this regard, my friends, I request you to please give perhaps the biggest round of applause to these people. Pakpak nilang tanan. And our dear parents, and family members of these graduates, teachers of both departments, and our beloved school administrators, We must have here that trembling sound of gratefulness from our young graduates. Rest assured that they will save them in their hearts, that they will continue singing the jingle of gratefulness and gratitude for this achievement, not only within the corners of this quadrangle, but also to wherever will they be after getting out of the gates of this prestigious alma mater, the University of Bohol. My dear graduates, sooner or later, you will be in your college. Please live by the tenets that your parents and teachers have taught you and wanted you to live by. Do not waste, never ruin your lives with drugs. I have to be frank and forthright. For everybody, almost everybody of us knows how these drugs have devastated our society. You and I are aware the irreparable damage these drugs have brought about. I can still remember when I was a high school student like you, when these prohibited drugs were already on the rise in the late 80s. But it did not have that same effect that we have now. Sources said that 60%, almost 60% of the crimes and offenses committed by our youthful offenders are drug-related. And what is more distressful is that these young offenders belong to the age group of 7 and 21. And which age group of 7 and 21 comprises 32% of our total population. And that would be almost 3 million youth who have manifested that they have tried using illegal drugs. These drugs, ladies and gentlemen, do not go cheap. Perhaps this popular drug called shabu or ecstasy, according to what we have learned in our court hearings, sounds like 1,000 to 2,000 a gram and 2,000 a pop. They do not go cheap. But how did these young people get hold of these drugs? Perhaps this is not a mystery. For accordingly, as what I have said, 60% of the crimes are committed by youthful offenders and are drug-related. My friends, while I'm talking about this malady, I am not saying that our dear alma mater is already in the verge of drug addiction, but for goodness sake, let us help one another. Together with our school administrators, our teachers, and our parents, and in union with these graduates, let us cross our fingers and pray that these young graduates will be spared from these evil effects of this societal cancer. Let us hope and pray so. Another thing that could be considered as a traffic jam on your way to college is poverty. I heard a while ago when I was introduced by Irish, she mentioned about the saying, poverty is not a hindrance to success. Did I get you right? Although some people are still dubious and consider this saying or principle as controversial, as they did not find this true and they did not believe that this principle holds water. According to them, had there been truth in the principle as mentioned by Irish, that poverty is not a hindrance to success, had there been truth in this principle, or at least a shadow of its truth, there would not have been street children yelling day in and day out for survival, for food and shelter. There would not have been what we call as economic criminals who without due regard to their lives are mandatorily required by circumstances to commit crimes. You can just imagine our brothers and sisters who are required by circumstances to commit crimes just in order to survive by reason of poverty. By reason of poverty. For according to one philosopher, poverty is the father of revolution and mother of crimes. Even in fact, because we are talking about poverty here, our very own country finds herself in the top 5 poorest countries in the Southeast. And imagine our brothers and sisters abroad, especially in big countries like the United States, Canada, Germany, United Kingdom, and even in the countries in the Middle East. Our brothers and sisters working out there find themselves in rank number 3, being the most number of immigrants. But at least they have found a greener pasture. Perhaps my spouse is not an exception. Why? Again, perhaps by reason of poverty. Going to the national level, 30% of the total population belongs to the below poverty line. How much do these families earn? Perhaps 6,000 a month, with 10 children, with 8 children. In 1997, and in 3 years after, it increased to 34. And just last year, it increased to 35% of the population belongs to the below poverty line. Going to the regional level, our region perhaps does not belong to the poorest regions, not like the autonomous region in Muslim Mindanao, which region is the poorest among the regions in the country. Going to the provincial level, our very own province of Bohol, whether we like it or not, is the 9th poorest province in the Philippines. 9th. But my dear graduates, these obstacles, these barriers, these traffic jams on your way to college could perhaps easily be conquered by your zeal, your courage, your determination to pursue your college education. And of course, your prayers. Prayers. When you find it hard to pray, just pray harder. Ladies and gentlemen, perhaps I am running too far. And before I would like to end this very short commencement address, let me remind our graduates that this is not the end. Instead, this is the beginning of another perilous lap of your long quest for knowledge, of your long educational journey. Sooner or later, you will be entering college. And we will just hope that you will still remain in this prestigious institution, which, as I have said, has been synonymous to the word quality education. And before I would like to step down here, please allow me to leave this short message that this too shall pass. And some message to the following. To our very own alma mater, the University of Bohol. To our school administrators, to our highly calibered teachers of the high school department, both in the day high school and the high school evening session. You are also worthy of commendation. And of course, to our young graduates themselves, my sincere congratulations to all of you. Good luck and Godspeed. Thank you very much once again, and good afternoon.
Thank you, sir, for that very informative and very inspiring remarks. As I am listening to his talk, a certain text message reminds me of
When God drops needles and pins along your path, do not stay away. Instead, pick them up and collect them, for they were designed to teach you to be strong. So my dear graduates, keep moving on, for the battle has not yet ended. Who knows? You would become like him before long. At this juncture, may we request the most active officer in charge of the Day High School, Mrs. Karen M. Diopando, and the most